Let's go get him again. Elite circle, third eye open, left hand holding, right hand smoking, flow still potent. Managed to score, yet I ain't open. Was on my beach chair, yeah, I ain't folding. Pardon my hiatus. It takes time when you live in life. In my mind, I'm preparing for greatness.
Welcome back, people. This is Don't Sleep on the Couch podcast. I'm your boy, Mr. Prez, aka Sergeant Raider, and with me always,
it's your boy Kash, aka Exec P. I don't have a cool nickname for my team, but yeah, man. This episode, a bonus episode, man.
Yeah, we're gonna call this a bonus because it's playoffs and we run our separate podcasts. Neither one of us really thought we was gonna be here, but here we are.
We didn't. We here. We both losers, but we didn't think we was gonna do it, man. And we made the playoffs. Hey man.
It was a lot of people, all the pundits, all of them was against us, man. All of them counted us out like mid season. But our teams are here. We represent.
A lot of haters. We started separate podcasts when we were still excited about the prospects and the teams winning, and then all of a sudden things fell off the rails. You got motherfuckers crashing cars and killing. Rest in peace. I don't mean to make it, but then you got racist coach. I mean, what was it?
Stuff going on? Hey, let's not discount what was going on with yours. The dysfunctionality going on that side too. Y'all getting rid of Pro Bowl tight ends middle of the season. You got all the injuries that's piling up. You got a mid-year quarterback controversy trying to play out. You had your quarterback who didn't want to be that last year. You end up trading him to Indy. They over there succeeding, but look where he at and look where y'all at, Kash.
The tide has flipped, and we back in. We had a quarterback we on the fence on all year long. We're still on the fence after this latest loss, but we're gonna get into all of that, man. It's a lot to get into. Yeah. We mad while we watch the game, but at this point, man, this is our refuge. This is where we get it off our chest, laugh about it, and still be pissed once we get off the pod. Cause
So like
go
you was
ahead,
leading
where
in
you want to start?
Raiders. Let's start with the Raiders. I mean,
let's start in order. Saturday's games, Wildcard weekend. Let's get it, y'all. Let's get it. All right, you first up, man.
Kash,
take your licks.
Let's set the stage. The Raiders have, like as you were saying, talking about all the ups and downs they had all year. Everybody counted them out. I know we started off the season talking about playoff or bust, started 3-0, lost a couple games, and then magically, as the signs were starting to show, like coaching just didn't improve and like the play calling didn't improve. John Gruden magically get these emails popping out of nowhere, and 10 years ago, saying some racist, homophobic type things. Anyway, had to get let go, man. Well, they say let go. He said he resigned, and then they had to split up with him, right? So after that, you still trying to work things out, started getting back on a couple wins and stuff like this. And then we had our star receiver, Henry Ruggs, go down. I know we done went over this story time and time again, but I got to recap for everybody, right? So Henry Ruggs, he goes and on the bye week has goes out and has a few drinks, goes driving, speeding down the road, runs to the back of a female Tina Tintor in Las Vegas and killed her and her dog. He's still going through his legal issues. Don't know how that's going to end up turning out, but I'm pretty sure he's going to probably end up getting some jail time. So they got our star receiver, up and coming receiver, with that first player drafted in Las Vegas. We still got the questions about Carr. Can he lead this team? That was a lot to put on him at the beginning of the season. All those early wins was pretty much going into overtime. And on the strength of Carr, like that's how we was winning. He was doing 300 plus yards and slicing them up, looking very MVP-ish at that time. At this time right here, he's looking very MVP-ish still. Talks are there, but after Henry Ruggs goes down, then we start really like trying to tough it out. We have Damon Arnett, another first round draft pick. He has a video come out with him brandishing guns and threatening. I don't know who he was threatening, but he was threatening somebody on their team. Decides to part ways with him. He wasn't starting at the time anyway, but he was a depth piece to that cornerback core and that defense. We lose another person, more drama going on amidst of losing a coach, a star wide receiver to a fatality that was involved into a fatality, and now we got another cornerback that's being lost. Lo and behold, we still kind of come out of that. We start getting back in get a couple wins. We lose a couple games against people that we ain't supposed to lose a game against. To Washington Redskins, Washington football team.
Football team. Now watch it now. Watch it there, you little racist. Go back at it. Go ahead. Stay with
Washington football team, and then we have then we end up losing to the Giants as well after beating the Philadelphia Eagles and the Cowboys. Who knows where this team was going? Anyway, 4 games out. Looks like we got a win out to actually get in the playoffs. At this point, everybody done counted us out. I ain't gonna lie to you. It looked kind of tough. You just seen them lose those couple of games to those scrub type teams, the teams that ain't in the playoffs talks at all. So it was like, they're gonna win a couple. Do I think they're gonna get in the playoffs? I really didn't. I'm gonna be honest. I didn't think they was gonna do it, but that team had some grit. They had been talking about the brotherhood they had on that team, and it started to show. They started gelling. We had rookies starting to come up and start taking over positions for some of the veteran linebackers or big money players that we had got in, specifically Divine Diablo coming in for Corey Littleton, who we playing big money, but Divine Diablo is helping out on the run, and that was a big hole on our defense. You got Nate Hobbs stepping it up, and he's playing that cornerback and nickel cornerback, and then we have Brandon Faison coming in, filling in for cornerback after Trayvon Mullen come back off IR, go down again. We had Darren Waller go down and he was on IR with some IT band or something like that had him out the whole time. Didn't have all stars. They some kind of way pulled this off. We magically get a run game after having the worst line that I'd have seen on this Raiders team in a while. And they pulled it through. I showed up for that last game, and they showed out. They came through with a big win against Herbert in the Chargers after losing to them earlier in the season. Chargers talk smack. This one was at home at Allegiant Stadium. Close out. Everything is in their hands. And in these type of games, they have usually lost. Derek Carr finally gets the team around him, finally shows that leader that he can be, along with Josh Jacobs and the other ones. I'm trying to think Josh Jacobs, man. They pull it together. Start using Hunter Renfrow. Hunter Renfrow get over 100 catches this season. Turns out to be like the number 1 receiver from the slot receiver spot. You had Zay Jones start to finally get his 100-yard game. So he started making waves with scraps. And that's what happened. So now they close out that game in the overtime. The Chargers game in the overtime win. Tie-dye to get in. They pulled it off. We here. So now we play Cincinnati.
Now, finally, after the long diatribe, finally we get to why we're here. Let's break it down.
All right. So a little bit of backstory on the Cincinnati Bengals and the Raiders. Last time they played in 91 is when, or 91, 92.
I forget what they said on the game. I forget, but it's been that is
the game when my childhood hero, the reason I'm a Raiders fan, Bo Jackson. That's when he got injured, tore his hip. They had the curse of Bo Jackson. They want to say ever since then they haven't won a playoff game at all since then. They've made it to the playoffs, but they haven't won any games. This is what we're leading up into. Chance for redemption on their side, and chance for Derek Carr to finally prove himself on our side. You know what I mean? He got us to the playoffs. Now what are you going to do? This is your second time getting us to the playoffs, but now you're playing in it. Can you do anything with it, Derek Carr? That's why I'm wearing this jersey. I'm gonna represent him right
Feel
now
feel
where I
like you
can.
feel
I
like
don't
you
know
feel
how it's
good
gonna
about
be.
what he did based on still having the jersey on. So it
Yeah,
feels
yeah,
like
yeah, yeah, man.
you respect what he did in spite of the outcome.
I respect what this whole team did. I mean, they played with a bunch of heart. I mean, like, truthfully, like I said, I don't think we were supposed to be here, but we here. They made it, and they put up just like they did all season, going against adversity. They put up a fight. This was a game all the way down to the end, to the final seconds. They had a chance to go ahead and pull it out. It didn't swing our way this time. Now I'm skipping a lot of stuff in between there. Joe Burrow, them man, they clearly had control of this game from the. I ain't gonna say right from the start because we scored the 3 points, but right after that, they hitting touchdown, they breaking big plays. We're struggling to come up and bring it in. Our run game is being somewhat effective. Derek Carr still throws for 300 yards, throws one pick at the end, has a fumble. It's a lot of back and forth, but we're managing to stay relevant, like it was within reach, like the win is within reach. But I can see if you were from a Bengals fan, y'all seem like y'all was in control the whole time. Now, a lot of this did happen off a second quarter touchdown that now has become very, very questionable. I'm gonna tell y'all from my side, I didn't think nothing of it. It was y'all scored, y'all did it. It looked like they scored. But from if you're a better and you was betting on this game, I can see how you was really, really upset. That can turn the tide of a game real quick and it could have swung it in your favor. So if I had money on this game, I think I'd be just upset. But as a fan watching this, it was a good game. Stayed into it. That call was bad. It was against us. But I mean, I think when it broke down, they
You've
still
grown.
had more penalty yards.
You
The
truly
Bengals still had more penalty yards than us. What I think ended it for us on the Raiders side was just self-inflicted wounds, mainly from the offensive line. I think every player on the offensive line ended up getting a penalty, a costly penalty, like a holding, false start, of that nature on good drives. And as we driving down there to actually catch up on the game, that one of those calls that holds us back and makes us get a field goal and lose points on the drive, lose points. So.
what I say to that, man, is you've grown, man, because I've known, like I said, I've known this man for about well over 20 years now, and it's been a while since he's been to the playoffs. It's probably second time, in recent years, and he was still talking about the tuck rule. This is a guy that was still talking about the tuck rule. So when you tell me that call was like, hey, man, we just got to play better, it shouldn't come down to that. It's growth, people. It can't happen. It can happen. It can happen because he's held on to this tuck rule thing for his entire adulthood on why he doesn't have a championship. So, but
Quick tangent, man.
Go
Quick
ahead.
tangent. I seen a clip and Charles Woodson was on one of these little shows and everything, and the host messed up and asked him about that call. And you're talking to the man who the tuck rule was against, Charles Woodson. Of course, he's not gonna side with these refs. He was just like highly upset, and he just went off like, yeah, man, these wow, the Raiders always tied to these games. I know y'all ain't gonna sway Raider Nation, but he was going off, and you could just tell, like all the other people. It was the female announcer or the woman announcer was the one who asked him this question, but the look from everybody else was just like, "Why did you ask him?
Yeah, come
Why did
on.
you ask him this question?" Wrong thing. All right, I just thought that was
Read
funny.
the
Y'all gonna find
room.
that clip. I may throw it up there on Twitter or something like that, but I just thought that one was funny.
Yeah, but yeah, Cincinnati Bengals, man. Again, that's another franchise. Like, I know we talk a lot of noise, but like they haven't won since what, the '90s in the playoffs, bro. Like, so I know your team lost, but like Burrow, he's a dog. He is a dog. And Chase, I mean, they took advantage of every last thing that fell in their hands, how you should in a playoff game. You know what I mean? I mean, you had Chase going against third and fourth string DBs as your guys were falling out like flies, and then that didn't really help you guys to begin with. You know what I mean? I think Jacobs ran the ball really well and kept you guys in that game and kept you steady. And
13 for
Carr,
83.
Yeah, and Carr,
13 for 83 yards.
yeah, Carr came around towards the second half. The first half, I was just like, damn, he's tight. It just felt like he was tight. Felt like the weather affected him. That's just me looking in his eyes. It's just look like, the weather affected him. But all in all, man, Waller came back and he was effective, but it wasn't how when we went to that game in London a couple years ago and last year, how like Waller was that guy as far as just a target. And I think the only thing I was telling you about, man, is like at the end of the game when you have a chance to tie, put something in overtime, it's just a pet peeve against mine. I would like the ball to be thrown in the end zone with an opportunity to catch it, not anything right there on the line. Like just give a receiver a chance. And if you got a guy like Waller or Zay Jones out there that can go up one-on-one and they have a good build as far as height, they should be go up there to challenge, and you let the chips fall where they may. I mean, that's what you pay them the big money for, to make those plays. Maybe not Zay Jones, but definitely Waller, and the play calling in that crucial of a moment. That's what I question. But at the end of the day, both franchises that haven't had success in quite some time, Cincinnati gets to move on, and I'm excited for the young, fresh faces moving into the divisional round and mixing Chase and Burrows. So I'm excited for him. Shout out to my man JB as well. He's a Cincinnati fan, and he told me to tell you hi Prez.
Hey, tell him. I'm going to enjoy watching them lose next week. Hey, but yeah,
also,
I get where you're coming on this.
Also, before I forget, man, speedy recovery to JB's wife, man. She just went through surgery, so man, special shout out for Prez and I, man. Get well soon to the old lady, man. So we praying for you. He's an avid supporter of the podcast, so definitely shout out to him and his family and everything, man. But definitely good win, brother. Good win, brother. Moving on. I'm happy for you, even though my team ain't make it. So.
Yeah, man, and just staying on that, like some of the stuff that you just talked about, I find that portion coaching when you talk about that last play and we not having players actually in the end zone. Matter of fact, we have our two best receivers. You got Hunter Renfrow and Darren Waller, running flats, kind of just like little 5 yards and outs, or I think Renfrow was running the flat, and I think Waller was running like a little 5 and out, which he was turning to go up, which seemed like he was breaking and could have done. But that's just poor play calling. Like, you only got 2 receivers on the final play of the game in the end zone. Like, you ain't setting
and
yourself
you gotta
up for
get
success.
it to the end zone.
You're not giving, and like, it's only so much I'm gonna put on Carr, but that is just a bad play call for that situation, in my opinion. Like, because you ain't give him many outlets. Like, he had to force it up in there to one of those guys in the end zone.
And I get it, right? The playbook shrinks up in that 20-yard line, in the on the end zone. I get it, but you got to have your best wide receivers on the field and definitely in the end zone to be able to do something. Even if you're creative to run a flat with Renfrow and to get somebody to go towards his way so you can clear it out to have a one-on-one with a Waller or a Zay Jones, then be that creative and throw it into the end zone. Like, we've seen this for years, time and time again, where it's a pick play, and next thing you know, either he gonna make it and grab it, or it's, the DB's gonna do what the DB needs to do. And, just give him a chance.
So the interim coach, Rich Bisaccia, man, I think like he did great. I applaud him for everything he did. He continued the goal and got them to their goal, getting us to the playoffs and everything. But honestly, after seeing all this, man, that and the two Kansas City games, I want to say the New York game, I seen them, and the Washington football team game. I just seen him just get out coached. Those games we lost because he got out coached. And this is another one of those things, just like, hey, I understand you got your offensive coordinator right here, but at some point y'all got to collaborate, and y'all should have a special play for these type situations, or come up with something unique. Like, that was just a uninventive, like, it was just bland play calling, and that kind of what lost it, and that's kind of where we at. Like we're gonna need somebody else. We need a young mind, uh, and it's just a shame after like I get off this game and I think I'm being too critical of the team, but then
It's a
the next
fact.
game up. The next game up, the Bills and the Pats, and you just seeing all this magic, all this creative like play calling, even on the Pat side. Belichick been doing it for years, and they still coming up with new ways to get the playmakers the ball. And it just seems like we lack that all season.
With a lot of
All season.
playmakers. I mean, there was injuries. I get it. You
Yeah.
guys had Jacobs out for some time, Waller were out some time. So I get it. You know
Kenya
what I
Drake
mean?
is out right now.
Exactly.
I
You
mean, we
didn't.
got Trayvon Mullen. Like, yeah, we got a ton of injuries. I ain't gonna
But
list them
who
all, but
don't?
I'm like,
But who
yeah,
don't,
yeah,
right?
exactly. That's not worth a complaint in my eyes right now. How do we operate with the players that we got on the field, and how do you get to put them in the best opportunity to score? And I don't think we gave too many of those guys the best opportunity to score.
So all right,
So
man.
next,
Next up.
next game, Eagles versus Bucks. Cash, stage is yours.
All right. Well, much like Prez in his diatribe earlier, allow me to speak my truth here. So, like I said, man, like this season, I wasn't expecting much. Hit my man Tuck, hit my man Bird, hit them up. You know, they're both Eagles fans. My man Ellis, and just we talking about it, and we fully was expecting to win 4 games. You know, get back in the draft, build. You know, but we wanted to see who we had out there so we can make some moves, and that was the whole entire season. The season starts, we do the first 6, 7 games. I'm like, okay, well, yeah, we're gonna win the 4 games. And, you know, but we played close. We played these teams close. You saw the promise, and then all of a sudden we started to run the ball, and we ran our ways right into the playoffs. So, you know, we're on the fence about Jalen Hurts all year. Like Prez said earlier, we trade away Ertz, Pro Bowl tight end. He was about, I don't know, maybe a grab or 2 away from breaking a Eagles record as far as wide receiving record, which I find kind of funny and fucked up at the same time. But it is what it is, man. You know, they had to get rid of him because, you know, he's going to be over the hill. He's still productive, still a Cardinal, and I wish him the best. But again, you know, a lot of moves to be made. Defense wasn't quite what it was. They found their stride in the second half of the season. We found some gems on the defensive end. But, you know, all in all, we're just not a good team. But we do find a way to make the playoffs each and every year. We find a way to get in. Last time we got in with a record like this at 9-7, you know, we showed a good showing. But this game here against the Bucks, I was worried from the start, Press. Worried from the start. You know, Josh Sweat was out, got the alert. He had a life. What did they say? It was life sensitive or something like that. That was the tweet that I saw that he had to. And this is one of the guys that's one of our leading sack leaders, if not the leading sack leader. I'm not reading it. I'm just going off a feeling here, people. But he was one of our dogs out there to cause havoc. He wasn't there, and then you know. We just got the brakes beat off of us, man. Brady did what Brady did coming into this game. I thought we had a wounded Tampa Bay team. You don't have Godwin. You don't have AB. The line, they're protecting Brady, but I feel good about our ability to rush and get home without sending a blitz. And Tom Brady's a stationary quarterback, and we typically have success. But what I didn't account for was that man being able to pull out the GOAT one last time. And that's exactly what he did, man. Like, he just picked us apart, and we were not ready for those guys. We showed with such a young team in key positions like a Jalen Hurts, and then like a Rager, and also Smith and Goddard. Like, our offense is young, man, and that defense manhandled us and confused us, and we were in a hostile environment, and it showed. You know, we missed a lot of throws. And that's kind of some of the things I've said about Jalen Hurts all year long. It's like some of the throws you just got to have to keep you in a game. Not necessarily win the game, but just keep you in a game to where you can make a run in the second half. Those are the throws that he often misses, and he can get better at. Now, I will say, as I go back and forth, whether Jalen Hurts should be our quarterback or not, damn fucking right he should. You know, there's a lot of other quarterbacks that are far worse than what he did for his first full season. This is his first full season, got us to the playoffs. Something needs to be said for that. What are teams always looking for in these saviors? You know what I mean? Like, you think this is random motherfuckers just gonna fall down from the heavens and bless your team and just toss that shit coming in at 22? It's not a lot of guys. It's not a lot of Burrows out there. It's not a lot of Herberts out there. It's not.
Who Herbert sitting at home? Just want to say that.
I'm just
Herbert
saying.
sitting at
You
home.
know that boy talent level. Stop it. Stop it. You know you're gonna have nightmares for years to come in that division. Stop it. Stop it. He at home, but it ain't on the account of him. It's on the account of that damn defense.
Derek Carr, make sure he's sitting his ass at home. Go ahead.
For sure. But yeah, so coming into it, I'm thinking that, Wounded Warrior. We got something here. We can do something with this. But again, I forgot the fan in me got excited. It's playoff time, new season, new us. No, same us. DBs can't cover. We can't cover the middle of the field. Our linebackers are too slow or just not that agile to hold slot receivers down. So, it's just all that type of thing. And then at the end of the day, what happened is what I can count on was stopping a run. We couldn't even do that today. So we got beat from the start to finish, man. All three phases of the game. We couldn't field kickoffs, punts. It was just bad all over, man. So, hats off to the Bucks. Hats off to my man Hud and Kev. Not hats off to him. Fuck them, actually. I don't really like them dudes. But,
especially on game day. Especially on game day.
Especially on game day, I don't like them dudes, man.
They're
at all.
Least
at
humble.
all. I tried to.
Humble people that you can actually
least humble. They won't text you for shit else. But they'll send you a bunch of memes. Yeah, man, those are the type of friends I got. But like I said, man, fuck them with a sick dick, man. Anyway, my next thing is pause. My next thing is overall, man, didn't see this happening this season. I'm glad that we were able to make it to the playoffs with such a a group that I didn't have high hopes for, because it gives me I don't know why here I go with this hope shit again. It gives me even more hope moving forward next year with 3 first-round picks. I hope that we don't package one of those picks to get a quarterback, because this ain't the year. This ain't the year. I'm sorry. I don't watch a lot of college football, but from my homies that do, and the few quarterbacks I did watch in the college football playoff and in these bowl games, there's not anybody worth giving up, packaging those picks to give up to replace Hurts. That's just where I'm at.
I'm just gonna tell you right now, as much as we watch football and we do all this, even the people who watch college, we don't know shit.
We ain't scouts.
It's a talk.
You're right.
It's a talk on that. Like, some quarterbacks have been amazing in college and don't pan out in the NFL. The ones that was trash in in college. Look, with the people that you're talking about. You talked about Burrow, and Burrow wasn't going to play on Ohio State. Got traded down to LSU. Yeah, they won a championship, but that was a 1-year wonder. So you didn't really have like the length on him. Like, well, is he going to repeat that success? Which he has. Like, he has continued to do it. But everybody didn't have faith in him, and a lot of teams did not have faith in him, or he would have been starting for 2-3 years. It just didn't happen. You got Herbert, who was over there at Oregon, and everybody beating Herbert. Like, nobody kind of knows. You got Tom Brady, who was like second string on Michigan over here, and he's the one that's been like the mainstay, the prototypical type guy. So we saying ain't no quarterback coming out of this. It could be a Jim come out of in the 4th round. That's going to be the next thing. So we don't know.
Yeah, but I'm saying I'm risk averse, so I'm not willing to roll the dice on nobody that doesn't look like a sure shot to me right now to replace a quarterback that just had he got 21 games under his belt now. You know what I'm saying? I'd rather keep that. And he did well in those 4 games lost like the previous year, but he gets your team to the playoffs. Let's keep on seeing what he got. He's not bad. He's a winner. And this isn't like a Tebow situation to where you can say he's a winner, he's a leader, da-da-da. No, he could play the quarterback position. He can get better at making throws. Like, he's gotten better at every place he's been. It's just gonna take a team to believe in him, and I don't know if the Eagles brass has that type of belief. But if there was a year to just fill in the team around him, because I think they got some dogs, man. Goddard and Smith and Devonta Smith. I think if we could get another receiver just to take some pressure off of Devonta, that man's ceiling is gonna be crazy. He almost got 1,000 yards this year in his rookie year. The last time we had a rookie receiver get close to that, shit, I can't even remember when. Like, I probably was in Pampas the last time. Probably was Carmichael. You know what I'm saying? Rookie. When you talk about a rookie, you know what I mean? So that's kind of where I'm at with it, man. Overall, sad into a season. If I'm going to lose, I'd rather give a really good effort and not get my ass tossed around like we did. But it happens, man. We shouldn't have probably made the playoffs. I mean, get seven teams coming in. But, I mean, hey, man, I'm happy to be able to get the experience with this young group, to see how it is, to see how different playoff football is. And, it's a lesson learned in defeat. So we'll take our licks. We'll be back. You know what I mean? So it is what it is, man. Fly, Eagles, fly. We here.